my name's Nakia Oliver, and I'm going to be interviewing Lee Walker for Unity Radio, the real sound of the city. You can find out how his Freak Like Me remix came about and his new EP titled Tricks, which is signed to Kerri Chandler's label, MadHouse Records. Tune in for all the goss. How's it going?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How's lockdown been treating you?
How's lockdown been treating anyone? It's basically, my life hasn't changed much, to be totally honest. Like, it's almost exactly the same. It's like I roll out of bed on a morning, grab a coffee, roll into the studio, be very unproductive for about 3 hours, and then get on with things. But
you've been cooking up a storm in lockdown, loads of new tunes.
Well, yeah, it's given me a chance to work on things that I wouldn't usually make as well, because usually you're trying to keep up with the Joneses in some way or another.
Yeah,
Now you've got quite a lot of freedom, so I can work on some slower stuff and some more melodic stuff that I wouldn't usually put out, and it's been a lot of fun, to be fair.
What would you describe your sound as?
Oh, God. Jesus.
I want to listen, and you've got a few different, like...
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's just basically house and garage with some sort of like old school soul influences. I suppose is the best way to describe it, but it sounds a bit confusing, to be honest, but that's pretty much how it is. That's where my influences come from, and old hip hop and stuff.
Your own kind of style.
Yeah, just whatever comes to mind, really. Yeah.
Can you tell us how you got into DJing and producing, and what influenced you, and who influenced you?
Christ, long question. Going back to when I was about 13, we have this thing up here called Makina. It's like a little niche scene, kind of like I suppose UK garage was in the start at London before it hit the mainstream, or niche in Sheffield, you know, that kind of thing, something that size.
Kind of vibe.
Yeah, and it was like it's 170 BPM with MCs over it and that kind of thing. And a lot of my mates had decks at the time, and it was getting really popular. And that's what initially got me into DJing. I started out MCing first, but let's not go into that. And then got into DJing off the back of it. And it basically just went from there. But when it comes to like house and techno, I joined the Middlesbrough College course because my mum was whinging at me because I was in the house just making noise all the time.
Yeah.
And I met Lee Pennington on the course. He's one of the tutors on the course. And he introduced me to some like deep in tech house, and then it just went from there. Really.
Got a vibe from it and liked it.
Yeah, and just kept on going. I've been doing that for like
Oh, did you like all that?
Say that again?
Did you like all that? Did you say donk?
But I love a dong. Everyone loves a dong, don't they?
Oh my God!
Yeah, donks on tunes now.
You've been to Wigan Pier and everything then?
No, I've never been to Wigan Pier. No, I'm way too young for that. I say way too young. A couple of years too young for that, but
really.
Yeah, I probably would have went, but then I'd have probably been scared off by all the.
I don't even know when it stopped all that. I don't even know when it stopped all that sound.
Oh God, I think like 2008, maybe 2009.
Really? I thought it went on longer than that, you know, because I remember the track brought out a donk track, and everyone was hyping about it on them sides.
Was it Blackout Crew or someone like that?
Yeah, that's the one. Was it?
God, I don't even know what year that was. I think that was maybe 2010, and that was at the tail end of all that.
I really thought it was like 2013. Life goes too fast.
No, it can't be 2013. I left school in 2008.
So you're 1 year younger than me then. So you're 28.
Say that again.
Yeah.
I have to Google this now because it's going to bother me if I don't. Put a donk on it. It was, wasn't it? Blackout Crew. Put a donk on it.
Oh gosh.
I need to know when it came out. 2009 it came out.
Oh, that's like over 10 years ago.
Yeah. It makes you feel older and older every time you realise that things are 10 years old, and you're thinking, oh, okay.
Lockdown made me feel old, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
So when you first remixed Freak Like Me, which is an absolute banger, did you know it'd be as big as it was? Or is, I should say.
No, it just went up for free download. It was just something that I did because my mate, like the original version was getting played by Ben Clock and that. So he tagged me in a video of it, and I said I got a little bit bored because there was nothing like, you know, it didn't go anywhere. It was just like a long breakdown. Like that's just the way the track is. But so I said I was going to put a drop on it, and he challenged me to do so, and then I did it, and I just put it up for free download. Didn't think anything of it. And then next thing you know, Marco Corolla is getting 1 million views on it in Ibiza. So it just kind of spiraled from there. I didn't really know what to do with it.
That's like totally different to your kind of sound, isn't it? That you produce.
Yeah, therein lies the problem. So it's like you're expected to follow up this big donkey banger. I'm just like, well, I don't really do this very much. So then I'm starting to put out deep. This. I'm like, well, that's what I do. Like, that's my thing. I just put a drop on this for a laugh. And it just went massive, and you're getting like emails from Spinning and Defected and Universal and stuff. I'm like, so I brought my my mate Graham was just getting into management around that time. He used to run the zoo project in Ibiza, and I asked him to look after it for me, and he looked after all of that. Cause I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
And the contracts that were coming in, I'd seen standardized like 50-50 contracts for little labels and stuff, but these contracts were a lot more complex than I could ever comprehend really at the time. I was only a kid, but it's certainly been a good little stepping stone, but it's been a nightmare when people are expecting you to follow it up with something similar and you just don't want to.
It's like 30 million streams, hasn't it? 30 million. I've seen that on your Instagram. 30 million streams on that track. Is that correct?
I think it's 32 million now, actually.
Like, on your remix, that is massive.
It's still going as well. Yeah,
that's massive. That's a big achievement.
It's a nice little paycheck once in a while, and it's a nice little thing to pull out of the bag. It's like still going at 280k a month or something as well. It's mental.
Wow,
it's been like 5 years.
It's a bit mad that then you're trying to keep up that sound. It's not really your sound, and then you're like, oh, just do a random remix. Get your friend to tell you to do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a go there. Do us a favour, shot us a challenge, will you?
So from preying on your Instagram, I've had a pre. Are you from Middlesbrough?
I am from Middlesbrough, yeah, if you can't tell by the absolutely disgusting accent.
I'm really not good at accents. So
I'll take it I sound like a Geordie to you then.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I thought so.
Do I have a Mancunian accent? Would you say I'm from Manchester?
Just outside, I'd say like Derby or somewhere like that.
Bang in Manchester city centre, middle. Oh,
fair enough. Yeah, I think you've toned it down a bit for radio, let's be honest.
And what's the scene like in Middlesbrough?
It's not too bad. We've got a party that's been going for 2003, so like 18 years now, called Riff Raff, and it's still going. It's in like it's in like a old street house. It's been converted into a club. So when you go in, it's like a university street party off American Pie or something now.
Really? That sounds awesome. Yeah. So what is it? When you say it's a street house, is it like an old fashioned?
Literally a terrace house, yeah.
Really?
Like, so we've got this. You know, like you've got the northern quarter. We've got these two streets, like Bedford Street and Baker Street, and it's just rows of old gigantic terrace houses with, you know, the ones with the big bay windows on them. And they've just converted that into a club. They've just knocked the wall through from the living room to the dining room. They've got a bar in the kitchen. That's pretty much it.
That sounds absolutely sick.
It's really cool. And then we've had like, obviously we used to have the Sugar Shack at Empire, and then it kind of disappeared. We had the arena, which is now shut down. And the Riff Raff's basically the only one that's left for house and techno and anything of that sort now at the minute.
We'll have to check that out. It sounds sick when we can anyway, because we don't know how long we're going to be in lockdown for, do we?
Oh, well, yeah. I'll see you there in like 2038.
Yeah, when we're at like 40s. You know, 40s.
Yeah, going in on a Zimmer frame.
And everyone's saying, get over it now, the clubs are not for use no more. So you've got an EP titled Tricks, which has just been released on Kerri Chandler's label, MadHouse Records. Can you tell us the story about the vibe you created?
Well, it started out, it was just the UK garage version originally, like the US one didn't exist. When I sent it over to MadHouse, Simon, who does the A&R there, he, sorry, let me just take a sip of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, no problem.
Asked me to do a US one because obviously MadHouse is a US house and garage label. So I did that for the title track. But when I first started the UK garage one, I was starting out with like a kind of dubby, stripped back, fuse kind of groove. And then I just started making the percussion scattier and putting more UK garage elements in. I was like, yeah, this is just going to be a UK garage tune. And then it just went from there, really.
Can I say which was my favourite, or am I not allowed to?
Hey, do whatever you want. Go ahead.
The US garage mix, I think that's my favourite. It's got a good vibe to it. I'm feeling, I was proper feeling it. It's totally different to the rest of your tracks, though.
Yeah, to a degree, I suppose. I have put a lot of houseier stuff out, but you'd have to go back a few years to find them, I think, now.
Yeah. When you played in Manchester at Sankey's a few times, you played a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple of times at Sankey's, I think, like maybe 4, something like that.
Was it more techie vibe you did?
Well, on one of them it was, yeah, because I was offset by Latman was playing on the same bill at one of them.
Who was, sorry?
Latman was.
Oh, yeah.
He was playing before me, and he was playing really techie stuff. I was planning to go in a little bit more housey, but it just turned into a full-on techno rave, and then they ended on Incredible by General Levy. You know, these things happen.
Absolutely love that. It's a shame to see it close.
Yeah, I know. And now it's going to be apartment, so you can technically live in Sankey's and you'll never be able to stop smelling the Red Bull that's been pressed into the car.
All that horrible beer smell, like when you go into a pub in the day. It's horrible.
Sankey's was particularly horrific as well because everybody was having fags in there and everything. Nobody gave.
Have you been to in Ibiza? I don't even know if that's still on.
Yeah, I played the one in Ibiza as well a couple of times. That's the same. It's exactly the same. It's basically like somebody just took Sankey's Manchester and plopped it into Bossa.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
If you could collab with any artist in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive? See, when you put the dead into it, that just makes it a horrible question. I don't even know how to answer it.
You just stick to alive then.
I think I'll probably go with CeeLo Green, like I did a few years ago in another interview.
Yeah, exactly.
I love his voice. I love his vibe.
Everyone in the whole wide world.
CeeLo Green. Just because of how much of an influence the Niles Barkley stuff was on me, and I still hear his voice echoing in my head whenever I'm thinking about, like writing lyrics for something. It's CeeLo Green's voice that I hear in my head for some reason. It's really strange.
Hopefully that one will come about for you then. That's a goal for you.
Oh, you never know. Hopefully we both get hopefully his career knocks itself down a few notches.
yours go up.
Yeah, either or.
Manifest it, law of attraction, if you're into it.
Yeah, that's how it works.
So, due to the madness that we've had from 2020 and we're now in 2021, what have you got lined up for the future?
Well, I've been working on some collaboration stuff with Saul Lecter. He's one of the garage guys from London. We've got one coming out on his album. He's changed the release date recently. It was supposed to be out now, I think, but I think it's been knocked back to March, so that'll be out then. We've done another 2 collaboration things there as well that could come out as and when, but we'd rather wait for a home for them because, for one, don't even know when the clubs are going to open again or if they even exist. So we're just going to wait. We're just going to wait and see where that goes, and then we can possibly decide a label for them and then put them out. And then there's a reason behind it because they're really clubby tracks. And I'm also working on a more laid back album as well, but I don't even know how to describe that style again. That's another fun. It's kind of like a deep house UK garage soul album, I suppose.
Have your own genre.
Yes, basically, yeah. Just a mix of wells around my head on a morning, basically.
A bit of garage, a bit of house, a bit of tech.
Yeah, but it's a lot more laid back. It's a lot slower because, again, like I said, that's what the lockdown's giving you an opportunity to do. You've been able to explore things that you'd maybe not be too comfortable spending too much time on because you've got to keep your career going. So it's been nice to just have that little bit of freedom, if anything. I think that's one good positive to come out of it all.
Is it Fruity Loops you use?
It is, yeah, FL.
Yeah, not a lot of people use that anymore. When I see it on your Instagram, what's it? Because I like Fruity Loops. It's good.
Yeah, but it's come a long way as well in the last few years. I think it's just got its reputation from back when it first came out, and it was more like, it was kind of a gap bridge in between Cubase and Dance EJ or something like that. But it's just caught up on, it's on the exact same level as everything else now.
Is that what you learnt to produce on? Really?
It's what I learned on, yeah, but then when I went to college, I learned on Cubase and made a few tracks on that. But it's really like clinical, and it feels like I'm making tracks in a surgery. I don't like it. It's like, it's the same with Logic as well. Logic's the same to me. It's not a creative atmosphere. It doesn't feel like you're having any fun while you're doing it. It feels like you're working in an office.
Well, I've got quick questions. You have to answer them without thinking. Okay.
That's not a good idea. But
right. The first one's not. You can take it a bit slow with the first one, but your top 5 tracks.
God, give me an hour. Off the top of my head, honestly, are we going of all time?
Of all time, or you can just do house if you want. It's totally up to you.
Otis Redding, These Arms Are Mine. These Arms of Mine, rather. Sandy B, You Make the World Go Round, the Deep Dish 12-inch mix. The Armin van Helden remix of Professional Widow. Oh. Doomsday, MF Doom.
Okay.
I've got one more, haven't I?
Yeah.
It's tricky. The Into the Sunshine mix of Friendly Pressure by Sunship.
Okay.
There you go. I actually got 5 out. I'm surprised I could even manage that.
Best country or city you played in?
London.
If you had to choose between Manchester United or Manchester City?
City.
Indian or Chinese?
Indian. Chinese is proper low tier. I don't know why people love it so much.
It's so nice. It's so nice. Sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
Hot or cold?
In what context? Water?
Hot, yeah, it's live, weather, food, everything.
Hot.
Fave BPM?
About 127.
Festivals or clubs?
Club, Fabric or DC10. Festival, I don't even like festivals. I hate them all.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Creamfields was amazing. Don't get me wrong, it was quite dry. But like a lot of the other festivals that you end up in, you're trudging through mud, and I always forget.
Getting muddy and everything.
Yeah, I can't stand it. I hate camping as well. It makes me sick.
Oh, I don't like camping. No, I feel dirty.
I don't mind it if you've got like a nice setup, but in a festival atmosphere, nah, it's not for me.
You can get them, what they're called, them pods now at the minute.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm all right with that. I'm also all right with being in a quieter place, but when you're in a festival ground and there's thousands of tents lined up, it's horrible.
Nice. So I think that's our interview lined up, quick and easy. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
And good luck with the new EP.
Oh, thank you very much.
Take care. Nice speaking to you, Lee.
You as well. See you after.